Hello everyone. Today we are going to do Shakespeare's sonnet number 18, which is known as Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day. This is the first line of the sonnet. Sonnet is a 14-line poem which came from patriarch of Italy, and many English poets adopted this idea to write sonnets in their own styles. We have William Shakespeare, who wrote 154 sonnets in his entire life, and at the same time he dedicated his poems to his beloved. Many people are assuming about the lover's theme, but we may only guess it. So let's begin. This is sonnet number 18. Here, let's start. The first line begins, Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines. So, in this poem, Shakespeare is comparing his beloved to the nature. First, he compares his beloved to a summer's day. The summer's day in a country where winter prevails more than any other season. The season of summer is considered as a blessing. So, here Shakespeare is comparing the two blissful things to his own beloved. The first one which he compares his beloved to is a summer's day, and the second one which we have is the sun. So let's continue. And often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines. So these are the first 8 lines of his poem, and let us try to understand each line one by one. The first line the first line begins as Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? This simply you can understand, if the poet compares his beloved to a summer's day, then the beloved would be more lovely and more constant. Here, temperate means mild. Next line says, Rough winds shake the rosebuds. Darling birds of May here is referred to rose. And next line, Summer's lease hath all too short a date. Here he is trying to say that the season of summer is very short. The timeline of the season is a limited one. And when he goes to the sun, he says that sometimes the eye of the heaven, which is referred to sun, shines too hot, and sometimes the sun goes behind the clouds. So if you notice, Shakespeare is comparing the perpetuality of his beloved's beauty to the temporary objects in the nature. The first temporary object which he mentions is the season of summer. That summer season is considered a bliss, but it is for a short period of time. It is for a limited period of time. Afterward, we have the sun that shines too hot sometimes, but it also goes behind the clouds. So the sun is also overshadowed by the clouds. So here you can see that the objects in the nature are also overshadowed by other things, or they have their own limitations in some way or the other. Next line says, Every fair from fair sometime declines. So it means that the everything, whatever is beautiful in this world, will lose its beauty someday or the other. By chance or nature's changing course, untrimmed, here he wants to say by misfortune or by nature's planned out course. So whatever the nature will plan for the beautiful thing, the thing will have to face that, no matter how beautiful that object is. Next line continues, But thy eternal summer shall not fade. So in the first 8 lines he has mentioned summer, and sun, and how beautiful they are, how limited they are at the same time. And when the ninth line starts, when the third quadrant starts, he says that the beauty, or here you can say, thy eternal summer. So here eternal summer is referred to the beauty of his beloved, shall not fade, it will never fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owe. The beauty will not fade, and at the same time, the fair, the beauty which you have will also not lose its possession. You will not lose the possession of your beauty. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou grows, so long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So Shakespeare has this particular style of writing his sonnets, that he ends his sonnet with a couplet. So the last two lines are the couplet of this sonnet. So let us see the meaning of these lines. The first line, but the eternal summer shall not fade. Here he is saying that your youth will not fade ever, nor will you lose the beauty that you possess, nor will death claim you for his own. Here, death will not claim you, here simply means that the death, however, death can claim your life, but death will never be able to claim your beauty. Even if you die, your beauty will perpetually be alive in the whole world. When in eternal lines to time thy grow, here it means because in my eternal verse you will live forever. So here he is saying, because I am writing the beauty, I am writing your beauty in these verse. So as long as there are people on this earth, so long will this poem live on and making you immortal. So you can understand this is the immortality of the beauty of his beloved.